Hi, church family. I want to give you a Friday update, a little bit of an update of what's going on. And my intention today, frankly, is to manage both expectations and perhaps even some fears or questions about what moving forward looks like. You may, if you're paying attention, realize that in the next few weeks that they will begin reopening or relaxing some of the requirements. And the managed expectation here is that uh, for those of us that wish we could just fling open the doors and everybody rush to the church and go back to one big gathering, I'm not sure that's the case. Things obviously are changing. We're not sure yet of the guidelines that will be expected of us. But I want to just ask you your patience, frankly, and when you see dates announced by our governor, our president, or other authorities, realize that the first time things are open, it's not a free for all, that we'll have to manage that. And we're thinking through that and planning along those lines right now, and covet your prayers in that. So just be watching as we bring updates along those lines. It will certainly mean some changes at Grace Community Church, the way we do church, the way we meet together, and it will involve also, I suspect, some help needed. So watch for opportunities to come. We'll have to do some things around the church to be ready for those that can gather. So that's the expectation thing. View the dates that you hear when it comes to the church as a process, not an event. It's not going to be a one-time doors are open, everything's back, but a rollout. We're going to have to figure out what it means and watch that, and we'll have to be flexible. Things may change along the line. So that's the expectation side. The fear side is we are well aware that even when things are open and people can gather, that many of you may not be able to do that. You may not be comfortable doing that, and it may be wise that you don't gather with us. So we are in the process of thinking through that too. When we are able to gather, we are still thinking, how can we communicate and get out our services to those of you that stay at home, and so we want to manage that as well, and we still want to communicate and do many of the things we've been doing now. They may look slightly different, but it's not going to be one or the other, at least for a while. We're going to realize that there's tension between those who can gather and want to gather and those who can't. And so just thank you again for your patience on that and your understanding on that. It's not going to be a one size fits all for any of us. And so be watching for that. Be watching for opportunities to serve as we get the pieces in order there, and be watching for details as far as when and what things will look like along the way. I can't say this enough. I covet your prayers. These are moment by moment, things change, and we try to manage that. We've got a great team. Pray for your elders, your deacons, your staff here, just constantly trying to think through this. And I want to honor everybody as we can. One thing we may do, so watch for this too, is get your input. It may be a brief survey. I don't know the format yet, but we will be pushing out a way to hear from you, what your hopes are, what your expectations are, what your fears are, as far as when we are able to start the process of opening back up. So covet your prayers, pay attention. We'll try and get the information to you, and just thank you. Hang in there. Be watching, be praying. I think God's bringing us to our knees in many ways, so that's one of the most important things, that He's humbling us and bringing us to Him. And if He does that, and we don't forget our need for Him, that's a good thing. So this is the update. Tune in Sunday morning worship. I would encourage you to tune in next Wednesday night for midweek Bible study, or at least watch it after the fact. As I teach on Isaiah chapter 6, I think there's some important lessons for us there. And if you haven't yet, if you're not a part of our GCC Devos text line, you can sign up for that, and the information's there on the screen. And we're going to begin doing a brief, we ran a test run this morning, Good Morning Grace, a quick time of just a thought from Scripture and prayer together on a Zoom meeting where we can see each other's faces a little bit and be praying with one another. God bless you. Have a great weekend.